I'm not like,
An Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Masturbators, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Howdy, everybody.
we can get away with it for a few seconds.
For a couple. Just as long as...
We ain't trying to piss off the YouTubes.
The YouTube manstrates half the time anyway, so there is all of that. And, no privacy settings again.
I can always sing, but we can't get copyrighted for that, but also nobody wants to hear that.
I don't know. You sang on your birthday episode and we got freaking banned for that shit. Well, not banned, but yeah.
No, but I played the music too, right? I'm pretty sure I played the music too. The Beatles birthday song, I feel like I played the music.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, if we got in trouble just for me singing, well, that's a problem.
Well, I mean, like you said, nobody wants to hear that shit.
Yeah, fuck off.
Wow, 2 minutes into the show and we haven't even said hello yet. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another random movie day of An Evening at the Movies. I am your amazing, awesome host, Kasey, the party guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fun and exciting, and you fucking know it. So
you are not a wild and crazy guy.
Well, no, I am not Steve Martin. Thank you very much. But I mean, I'll take it. But for those of you who don't know, everybody's favorite co-host is with us again this week. Say hi, everybody's favorite co-host.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. There's your first Taylor reference. It's me, Amanda.
Oh, Jesus, I knew this was going to happen.
You started it. I wasn't even going to mention any of it on this episode because I couldn't even figure out a way to tie it in. And actually, that just popped into my head. So there you go. I've been on the Taylor Swift clown car since last week, and stuff just keeps happening. And my wallet is slowly recovering, and she's putting out a new album. And it's really, really cheered up my life in a way that I really needed. So thanks, Taylor.
And your husband is sprouting more and more gray hair each and every day.
Hey, I'm spending my own money. And actually, so far, I haven't spent too much, but there's still going to be a merch drop. I've already ordered 2 vinyls. I mean, there's been vinyl and CD and cassette tapes because, yes, she does stuff on cassette too, which I think is cool. But when the merch drops, that's when it's really going to hurt because her merch is fucking expensive. So we'll see.
Oh, George is going to love that when that happens.
Hey, I'm making my own merch to help pay for it. I've made some lovely friendship bracelets for the new album, The Life of a Showgirl. So if anyone here is interested, go to Etsy under Creative K Designs. And that's creative with a K. Because my last name starts with a K. See what I did there? All right, that's it. I'm done. L for love.
So, What? Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. So, this is an evening at the movies. For those of you who don't know, it might be first time viewers slash listeners. The show where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered down sodas, and we talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them, even if they are insanely problematic and socially relevant at the same time. But I
Okay.
feel like we will get into that over the next little bit as we discuss this week's movie. So, for those of you who don't, well, weren't here for the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks. The
Yeah.
maths are hard for me. Um, we are celebrating the 126th birthday of the man in our visual background. Well, the half in the visual background, Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. So, um, last week we talked about some birds, flappy little creepy motherfuckers,
Hmm.
and uh, first week we talked about um,
Dial M
dialing
for
up.
murder.
Yep, dialing up M for murder because I mean it. Hitchcock's vision is very. I feel, and I don't remember if I've said this yet this month or not, but I feel like Hitchcock walked so people like Tim Burton could run.
I mean, maybe. I might need to hear a little bit more about how you made that connection, other than just being inspired by greatness, because then
They
that could be
both
said
have
for a lot of people.
they both have very twisted, fucked up, creepy visions.
Okay, well, then you could say the same thing about Rob Zombie or any of those A24 motherfuckers.
Oh no 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 no! Don't you dare lump Rob Zombie in with
You're the
the
one that said
greatness.
fucked up. But yeah,
But I also the greatness is implied, and there is no greatness attached to the Rob Zombie name cinematically. Musically, different story.
yeah.
But we're not going back down that road again from 3 years ago when we talked about Halloween 2. No, thank you. Although I will say this and remind everybody, for those of you who didn't listen the last time, after rewatching that movie, it definitely wasn't as bad as I remembered it to be, but it's still not a great fucking movie at all.
It's one of those things like other movies where it's like if you would just cut a few parts out that make absolutely no fucking sense, then the movie would be more cohesive and you could enjoy the whole thing. Like honestly,
Spirit horses.
yeah, spirit horses and Michael talking and Michael looking like a yeti. Like let's just he wasn't scary at all. I mean, he was scary from the he looks like a homeless yeti perspective, but he wasn't scary like Michael Myers scary. And then he had to speak like, come on, y'all, just no.
Yes. And if you cut Ninja Turtles out of Halloween Ends,
And not called it Halloween Ends, made this the next movie after, it would have been great. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. I'll get on that soapbox and never stop.
I we've been on and off that soapbox for the last what 4.5 years.
Yep.
So it's probably not the last time the unpopped kernels are going to hear us go off or battle back and forth. Even though here in about 10 days we will be having a special episode of an evening at the movie with the greatest horror movie character of all time. Just saying, but we'll get to that later in the show. So,
Yeah, don't get me started on that either.
oh, I'm not because you will lose.
You will lose.
So,
Anyway, today we're here to celebrate voyeurism at its finest.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's never. We here at an evening at the movies do not condone being peeping toms. So
Agreed.
if you took that away from what Amanda said, then shame on you.
Yeah, that says more about you than it does about me.
Yeah, no, because we are good peoples and we do not condone being stalkers or sticking your nose into somebody else's business when it's not wanted. So,
And if I was going to
spoiler
be a
alert.
lawyer, I would
uh,
be a lot more secretive.
I was just gonna say, spoiler alert. That pretty much just summed up the whole fucking plot of this 2 hour long movie too.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
I'm rambling as I pull up my online notes because I did not write out my notes again this week like I should
Mhm.
have because I got asked to go to the grocery store before we started.
Well, I'll just
So
tell everyone we are discussing Rear Window, another great Hitchcock classic. So, obviously, we have the normal notes that we're going to do, but I can go ahead and say the title of the movie Jimmy Stewart in color, as opposed to black and white, which I think we get Jimmy Stewart in color next week, too, right? Vertigo's in color. I kind
see,
of
see,
like black.
senor.
I like black and white Jimmy Stewart better. I'm not going to lie. But I
Um,
also love It's a Wonderful Life. So, because Mr. Smith
there's
Goes to Washington's in color too. So clearly, I just like the one movie the most.
I was gonna say he's got a little bit more. George Bailey has a little bit more redeemable qualities to him
Yeah.
than both of these creepy mofo's in Rear Window and Vertigo.
Oh, well, in this one, it's not even just the voyeurism, it's the fact that he's a prick, which we're going to get into. I
Oh,
The feminist in me is going to come out hard when we start talking about this movie. So everybody just brace yourselves for the feminist soapbox because I got some shit to say.
we expect nothing less from you. So, with all of that said, I have some information for those of you who may or may not. Why does it not have a freaking? Oh, there it is. Freaking duh. All right, so Rear Window, released on August 4th, 1954. Oh my God, this movie is literally like 71 years old in 2 weeks. Um,
Nice.
Obviously, as it is his month, it is directed by Sir Alfred Hitchcock. It was released by Paramount Pictures and had a whopping, whopping
Whopping.
$1 million budget. A
Really?
whopping cool
Okay.
clip of a budget. And considering it was 1954, made $37.9 million at the box office.
Nice.
So,
What the hell did they spend $1 million on for this movie? I mean, I got to think a lot of that went to
uh,
paying Grace Kelly and Jimmy Stewart because it all takes place in the same location. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say there is a major similarity between this movie and Dial M for Murder
yeah,
in that they're both literally set in one room for
like you
two
literally
fucking
never
hours.
leave that apartment complex in this movie.
No, you don't even really go into other apartments either. It
Right.
you see into other apartments,
You see what
but
he sees across the courtyard, and then you see the inside of his apartment, and that's it.
yeah,
It's wow,
well,
$1 million. I mean, I
yeah,
got to think Grace and Jimmy got paid pretty well because they were both pretty big stars at the time. But still, $1 million. I mean, wow. Okay, interesting. I might have to research that later just for my own curiosity because I'm like, how? In 1954, that's a lot of fucking money. I mean, it's a lot of
well,
money now, but not for a movie. You know what I
that
mean?
that was going to be my next point though too was how did what from that movie cost $1 million? $1 million in 1954 too.
Right.
So yeah, like we've always said, inflation is a bitch, and
Today, that would
but
be
you,
around $12 million.
which is not surprise. I mean, I know back in the beginning, I used to do the every episode translate
I mean,
past dollars into current dollars, and
we don't need to, but I was just curious.
oh no, was curious too, but yeah, I mean, I guess $12 million nowadays for that. I mean, yeah, probably about right,
Well,
I
I actually
guess.
looked up that statistic for another thing that's in this movie that we will get to, and it did say that price from 1954 to now, if anything, was about 12 times what it was then. So that tracks really well. So
Uh,
interesting.
and from what I remember of the inflation numbers from the past, yeah, no, that's probably fairly accurate. Um, Again, rambling while I back out of Wikipedia because it is time for everybody's favorite An Evening at the Movies game that's going to piss Amanda off.
Is it
But
Rotten Tomatoes or is it the Guess the Movie? Since I got it on the first one last time.
I'm still boycotting that fucking game. And
Okay.
I didn't even think about coming up with another movie for you to guess for this
That's
week.
cool. We don't need to do it.
But I do have Rotten Tomato scores.
Okay. I actually think this is going to be pretty easy because the Hitchcock movies have gotten insanely high ratings, and I'm not complaining. So I get to be super slutty with my rankings and probably will be accurate.
Typical.
Hey, we're going to talk about other people being called slutty in a minute. I'm going to go tomato meter 96%. And I'm going to go popcorn meter 91%.
So, spoiler alert, you were in the right demographic on both.
Okay. Not like last
Um,
time. Or was that last time?
no,
I can't remember. Might have been. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
mean, it
doesn't
was.
matter.
I think it was the birds episode because there was some
Well, it was last time.
confusion about. Yeah,
Okay.
because there was some issues with the whole. Um, the birds is classified as one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and yet the Rotten Tomato scores did not reflect that
Yeah.
opinion. So, popcorn meter, aka the audience score, on 100,000 plus ratings,
Nice.
Rear Window got a 95%.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. All right.
And again, like with the birds and other movies that Senior Hitchcock has directed, I mean, Psycho, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. The Birds, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Rear Window, I
Not
personally
horror,
would
but
not consider this horror.
no.
I've seen it on most horror lists for greatest horror movies of all time,
That's weird.
and it's. I've also seen it on the greatest movies of all time list too,
Yeah.
and it's insanely high up on most of the. I think I even saw
Yeah.
one
We'll get
list
to that in
where
a minute, too.
I think I even saw one list that they actually had this movie ranked higher than Psycho,
Hmm.
and
Interesting.
I think it
Okay.
was only
So
one time.
what's the tomato meter?
99%.
Whew. All right. So I was
On,
close on both. It was closer on the tomato
on
meter, but
134 reviews.
99%. That's tough to get, I mean.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean,
Well,
I probably in almost 300 episodes could count maybe on two hands and 2 feet how many times we've had an episode on a movie where it got 99% or higher on the
Yeah, I
show.
don't know.
It doesn't happen very fucking often.
All
But
right. So awards wise, um, this movie was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. Did not win any of them, but it was nominated for Best Director, Best Screenplay, um, not original because this is based on a play, but best like writing slash screenplay, best cinematography and best sound. It was nominated for the BAFTA for best film, best U.S. film because BAFTAs are a
British
British
Academy
award,
Award, it's basically BAFTA is the
right?
British Academy Awards.
And Hitchcock was nominated for best director at the Directors Guild of America Awards. It was number 42 on the original AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies. When they did the 10th anniversary redo, it moved down to 48, but still, pretty cool. And then in 1997, it was added to the National Film Registry for the Library of Congress for being culturally relevant, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember the whole thing, but So,
Culturally relevant, aesthetically, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
yeah. Probably should memorize that, but I mean, whatever.
I mean, it's
Oh,
not the first time that award has been brought up on the show, and it probably won't be.
yeah. Well, and this is the first time I looked for that with a movie when I'm doing the awards section. So from now on, I will look for that to see if that's a thing that's happened for
I
the movie.
mean, I
So,
believe both of our next two movies are in the Library of Congress as well
oh, I'm sure.
for the same reason,
Okay. So,
which is weird considering what's coming up a week from Saturday.
oh, well,
I'm not sure how that movie is aesthetically pleasing.
I mean, for practical effects, it is. And I think that counts.
True.
All right.
We'll
Rear
get
Window.
into that when Misty's back, though.
Yes. For those that don't know, the basic plot summary of this movie is the
Very
story.
basic.
Yeah, it's the story of a recuperating news photographer who believes he has witnessed a murder. Confined to a wheelchair after an accident, he spends his time watching the occupants of neighboring apartments through a telephoto lens and binoculars and becomes convinced that a murder has taken place.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. And this has definitely been not just obviously it was remade with Christopher Reeve, but it's been duplicated. This kind of plot line has been duplicated in a lot of other movies. The two that really come to mind are What Lies Beneath and Disturbia.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that in What Lies Beneath is that she's actually wrong. So I feel like it would have been kind of cool if Rear Window had gone that way too. Like if it had just been an audience mind fuck where we all thought the same thing he thought and then it ended up not to be true. But, that would have been a completely different movie, but it could have been an interesting take. I don't know.
Not that Hitchcock has ever been guilty of mind fucking his audience.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. Spoiler alert. The end of Psycho.
Yeah. And again, we've got another thriller suspense movie that starts off with the happiest music you ever heard, just like Dial M for Murder. I'm like, when are we going to find out that this is a suspense movie? Like, the suspense in this doesn't actually start for a while because at first you're like, everybody's telling him he's crazy. Even we kind of think he's crazy because, I mean, I did anyway. I felt like it was a stretch at the beginning, what he was putting together. But, eventually it's like, okay, this seems like it's legit.
The pieces to the puzzle started all
right
coming together.
But it's also interesting because you get to think about how your mind can play tricks on you when you're confined to a single chair in a room and you're just watching other people. Like, you're learning everything about these people. And like the detective says, this is private stuff. Would you want people, knowing all this about you? And it's like, once you learn all this shit about people, it's like one little thing can set your imagination off and you just go wild.
Well,
But
and this
spoiler
is,
alert, he was right. So
I mean, this is 1954, and being crippled and confined to a wheelchair and having mobility is not like it is now today. They
yeah.
didn't have motorized chairs and super fast elevators and all of that. So if you broke your leg and got confined to a wheelchair and lived on a third, fourth floor in a third, fourth floor apartment, you were stuck there for the whole damn duration.
Oh yeah. Because at the beginning, he begs his friend. He's like, "You got to get me out of here." And it's like, the guy doesn't say this, but basically, it's more trouble than it's worth. And he's going to get out of the cast a week later.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, that didn't happen either. But he ends up with two broken legs at the
No.
end of the movie.
What happens when you peep on somebody and they find out and dangle you out a fucking
Yeah.
fourth floor window,
But hey, the guy
third
probably would have
floor
gotten
window?
away with it. So, you know, good for him.
Probably. So,
So, one thing I wanted to say real quick, and I wish, so I did not think of this until when I was just sitting up here waiting for us to start. And I wish I would have thought of this as my top five. But one of the things I love about this movie is when we first see Grace Kelly, when she makes her appearance, I have to say that's one of the best movie star entrances in a movie ever. Like the way she just
oh yeah.
walks in that door in that beautiful gown and is just like, "Ta-da, I'm here." Like, it's Princess Grace. I don't think she was a princess then, but still. Um,
No,
that
but I
would have been
mean,
a great
literally, she
top
makes that
five.
grand
Yeah.
entrance, but doesn't verbally announce, the whole "ta-da,
Well,
I'm
right.
here."
She announces it with her dress and her movements and her grace.
Yeah.
The only two that immediately pop to mind in that same category would be John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever with the walking and the whatever. Like that was pretty epic. And then Arnold
Oh yeah.
Schwarzenegger in the Terminator when he shows up all naked.
Oh god, the last thing I want to see is Arnold Schwarzenegger's ass.
It was a nice ass. I mean, he was ripped. Like, let's
I'm
just be honest. Objectively, you can say that guy has a nice body.
I'm sure his ass for you is aesthetically pleasing.
Well, no, I'm just saying, even objectively, like even as a man, you should be able to look at him and go, "Wow, that dude is ripped. That dude has a nice body." Doesn't mean you're attracted to him, but
No, and
objectively, that is a fine specimen of a human being.
I would agree 100%. That man
I mean, he was a fucking bodybuilder. Come on.
worked his ass off to build a body that, yeah, is very, for lack of a better term, back around the fucking barn again, aesthetically pleasing.
It's toy like a toyer.
All right, so um, shall we get into Mr. Stewart and his asshole behavior?
I mean, are we ready for a chancy sized rant? Because I'm ready.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I miss the chancy meltdowns, and
I do too.
I kind
This
of,
movie is how you get rants. Okay, so it is.
I as soon as I rewatched this movie again, like 15 minutes in, I'm like, oh damn it, Amanda's gonna freaking love this, and she's gonna have a freaking chancy meltdown. So,
I haven't seen it in a while, and honestly, I have not ever paid this much attention to the dialogue. This is a movie that I will put on in the background and watch the important parts and I'll kind of listen,
mhm.
but I haven't watched it to really pay attention to the dialogue in probably 20 years. Now, have I had it on the background like 20 times since then? Yeah, for sure. It's a good, like, just background calming. Oh, this part's good. I need to watch it. But yeah, so I kind of forgot. So So we get, obviously this whole mystery thing, but we've also got this love story of this, first of all, fucking knockout, beautiful woman who is like a model and a fashionista and all this stuff. And, I get the whole, I like that they sit down and have the conversation about how their lives don't match because he's a photographer that travels the world and he wants to keep doing that. But this guy clearly also just doesn't want to get married. Like, and he's just stringing her along. Like she
Hmm.
comes home in that dress and she's like, "We're gonna celebrate. I ordered dinner from your favorite restaurant." She's sitting on his lap in the wheelchair, kissing on him, and he's just like, "Meh." Like, dude, you suck.
Spoiler
But
alert, though, before you get too deep into the rant. Not typical Alfred Hitchcock kissing, no.
the kissing got better with this movie. That I figured we would talk about that. The kissing did improve. It was still a little bit of a smash mouth situation, but there was a lot more puckering. But honestly, I think it would have been, if he had been participating, it probably would have been better. But most of the time, he's looking out the window while she's trying to kiss him. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Is your penis broke too,
Yeah.
not just your leg? Like, come on, dude.
I was gonna say she was the one doing all the puckering. He was
Oh,
more
yeah.
Hayes Code kiss.
But okay, so this is what set me off, though, is that, she's made him this dinner, or ordered in this dinner but fixed it all up. It's like this beautiful lobster and whatever, and she's like kissing him and he's looking at the girl across the way and is just like, oh, she was asking about the neighbors. He's like, oh, we've got an apartment across the way right there that's probably as busy as yours always is. I was like, dude, go fuck yourself. She is sitting there telling you she loves you and wants to marry you, and you're calling her a
Hmm.
whore. Oh, I got so mad I wanted to throw something. Like, what a dick. And, she's like, no, that girl doesn't love any of those guys. It's just a means to an end. And he's like, how can you tell? How can you tell she doesn't love them? And she's like, well, you said it was like my apartment. Like,
Yeah.
just what an asshole. Like, he literally just basically, because he doesn't want to marry her or he's insecure, he just basically called her a slut. Oh,
Well,
oh.
and even
Sorry.
before, I think it was before she shows up for the first time and they have their little dinner makeout
Oh,
session,
yeah,
whatever, and the quote unquote caregiver is there helping him.
right.
And even she's freaking basically beating him about the head and shoulders with the whole
Yeah.
fucking man up, dude. You need to freaking put a ring on it. And
Like, marry this girl.
yeah, make an honest woman out of her and live happily ever after and blah, 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 blah. And he's still in that mindset that he's content to travel around the world and do exciting things and all. And I know that's not how society was back then, but there's no reason why you can't still do those things or share those things with a spouse.
Right, and that's what's crazy too, is that first of all, we don't know how old these people are supposed to be, but I'm gonna say at least 28 to 30. These are not young people, especially him. So it's not like you're just gallivanting around the world just to do it. And I get that he wants to be a serious photographer. They have the whole conversation of she's trying to, convince him to get a job in the city and stop traveling. She's like, I could make a phone call to like 5 different magazines and get you a job. And I could see him viewing that as her trying to pin him down and that he doesn't want to do that. But the next time they have this conversation, she offers to go with him. And he's just like, well, what are you going to wear in Pakistan or wherever? Like, it basically boils down to, I just don't think he wants to have his cake and eat it too and not put a ring on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's lucky she stayed with him because she even like stayed and she became engaged in this case and believed him and risked her life to get them the evidence they needed. But like, he was just
Well,
such a dick.
spoiler alert, she went to jail for him.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, for like 5 minutes, but still.
I don't care. I'm not going to jail for 5 minutes for Anybody I'm in a relationship with.
Like she clearly loved him way more than he loved her. And dude, you're kicking outside your coverage with this one. Like she could have, and he even says that. Well, you could have anyone you want. Yeah, but she wants you. What is your fucking problem? And then later, when the detective comes over and you know is like eyeballing her lingerie, and luckily he's stuck. He's like, dude, be careful, watch what you say. But then he's talking about, oh, female intuition. That's all fine and good for magazines or whatever, but really it's just a fairy tale. And then he was like, let's ask Miss Female Intuition what she thinks. Heck, just what a misogynistic piece of shit. I liked when he was like, let's just all sit down and have a drink as friends. Now, first of all, he already had a brandy in his hand. So I don't know. Hey, he was asking for another drink.
Probably.
But I love because he said, fix us a drink and we'll all sit down and have a drink as friends. I'm like, dude, you already have a drink. But I love how she just walked away and stood by her man. She was like, fuck your drink. Kind of like when she left him that first time and she was like, goodbye. And he goes, don't you mean good night? And she's like, I said what I said. But then she's back the next day. So yeah. Just the sexism in this movie and I really the whole apartment comment made me want to throw shit. There has been no indication at all other than knowing she's a fashion model that would even remotely hint to her being with other guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she did say I had drinks with so and had to go meet with so and you don't know if these people are who they are, but also that's her job. Like, just fuck him. Okay, sorry, I'm done.
Well, I mean, you can go have a damn beer with freaking Papa Palpatine, but that don't mean you're bumping uglies.
Ew.
Eh, well, I had to throw that metaphor in because
But no, I know. Yeah, it's like,
I wasn't throwing the other creepy metaphor in
yeah.
because that's
So
just as
yeah, that was the misogyny in this movie is laid on pretty thick.
yeah, and well, Hitchcock is known for sprinkling that minimalistically
And it was the
throughout
time. I know.
most of his movies, and yeah, it was that doesn't still
But damn.
that
I
doesn't excuse it
called her a
today.
slut, basically. What the hell?
Yeah, he kicked her in the hoo ha.
Whew. Oh, the other thing I want to say about her and all of that, not to that, but this was the other thing that I Googled the cost difference because that dress that she walks in is
Hmm.
like so freaking gorgeous. And she's like, it's $1,100. That would be a $13,000 dress today. Oh my God. But it's so beautiful. Like, wow.
You
She
can get a
just,
good used car for $13,000.
yeah, she just looks like royalty when she walks in that first scene.
Well, I mean, quote unquote, Princess Grace.
I gotta see, when did she become Princess Grace of Monaco?
Pre or post 1954?
April 1956. So it was post.
Not by much.
No.
She was knocking boots with the prince.
And making appearances at Studio 54 after that. So,
Yeah, so go
yeah.
figure.
So, anyway, I had to get that rant out. Thanks for letting me do that because, yeah,
I
fuck this
figured
guy.
better to go ahead and get the freaking band-aid ripped off before
Fair enough. Fair
we
enough.
get to all the niceties because there's some good stuff that can be said about this movie as well.
Oh, yeah, tons. Just,
Probably one of my absolute favorite things, and I relate this similarly to like Dial M for Murder, is the fact that you can tell he Hitchcock completely tells an entire story without having 100,000 tools at his disposal,
mm-hmm.
and it was even true to a certain extent with the birds last week as well. But the birds wasn't literally confined for 2 hours in one particular
Look,
location. You got
yeah.
three or four or five in that movie. But Dial M for Murder and yeah, Rear Window, blonde moment. Um, we're basically confined to one room or one apartment for the entirety of the 2 hour long movie. So,
Yeah,
and
I
they're
mean,
still some of the greatest movies of all time.
they did a good job in both of giving you the character's backstory without bogging you down with it. Like, on this one, it's like basically the simple phone call between him and his, I don't know if that was like his editor, his boss, whatever, but like,
Hmm.
you know, having a conversation where they're clearly giving you the backstory of how he ended up in this spot where we're starting the movie, but it wasn't like this long drawn out thing. And then the same with like her and him having their conversations about whatever, it's revealing parts of their relationship and the history of their relationship without it being like so heavy and deep. And they did that in Dial In for Murder too. You got the history of the characters in a way that didn't make you feel overwhelmed, and he's definitely good at that.
Yeah, and it's not, you know, piggybacking off of what you said though. I mean, Dial M for Murder, you get the little bit of backstory stuff, and it's all in little spurts
Right.
right
And
at the
that's the same
beginning.
with the birds. It's
Uh,
very sprinkled out in the birds, but you get it, and that's cool, I think.
yeah, the birds too, but yeah, Rear Window, you get, the phone call with the editor or whoever. You get that initial conversation with the caretaker. You get the initial meeting with Grace Kelly, and those three things are basically all the damn backstory that you need, and none of those scenes is actually longer than a couple of minutes at the most.
Well, and not to mention, after the first phone call, the other stuff is all still being integrated with the current situation that's going on, which is him thinking his neighbor's murdered his wife. So,
Yeah,
yes, they're having these conversations and giving you backstory, but it's completely mixed in with what else is going on. So, like, if you didn't pay attention, you would miss it, except for like the time where they sit down and really have the conversation, like after the dinner. But other than that, it's really like, it's just like sprinkled in there and you get it and it's not overwhelming. You understand who these people are, where they came from, while still being able to pay attention to the plot line of the movie, which is we think somebody's been killed.
and it's not overly complex either.
Right.
Not trying to put anybody down by any stretch of the imagination, but this is not some movie that you have to have, 140 IQ to be able to fully appreciate.
Yeah.
It's simple.
It's very
Guy with
simple.
guy with broken leg watching being a peeping tom out his freaking apartment window.
Yeah.
Shenanigans ensue, and that's it.
Well, and I think too, like talking about movies like this, like Dial In for Murder and Rare Window, that definitely paved the way for movies like Misery, like where
Mm-hmm.
you can take a story and put it in a single location and still make people want to watch it. Because that's hard to basically not see any scenery change within the confines of a couple of rooms or like looking across the courtyard or whatever. Like that could get boring real fast if you don't keep up the suspense.
Especially nowadays with the rapid explosion of people and their ADHD.
Yeah. Like Misery felt
Because
very Hitchcockian to me, having watched these other movies. I was like, okay,
yeah,
they definitely, um, Rob Reiner, right? Was that
director for
Rob?
Misery. Yeah,
Yeah. Like Rob Reiner definitely took a cue from these movies, in my opinion, to make that work the way he did. I mean, he already had an amazing story laid out for him by Stephen King, so that, helped, but still. And you get a few more locations in that movie, but for the most part, it's confined to one room. So,
yeah. extra areas in Misery are brief, and he shows up at the post office or the store or
Right,
whatever. And you know, we're not talking about Misery.
right.
Stephen King Birthday Bonanza is coming up in 2 weeks.
But I'm just saying Hitchcock's
But yeah,
effect and directing and filmmaking can be felt like all the way through history since then. Like it just,
oh
people
no, I mean,
people that choose
he,
to go off what he built, like he set the standard for a lot of stuff, even though he was by all accounts a piece of shit human. He's an
yeah,
amazing filmmaker.
I mean, King has said he was greatly influenced by Hitchcock.
John
Directors like
Carpenter,
Steven Spielberg,
yeah,
John Carpenter, Wes Craven, all some of the greatest directors of all time, Coppola,
yeah,
Lucas, all of them have said that they were insanely influenced by the creativity and the vision of one Alfred Hitchcock.
yeah,
So again, a good reason why dude deserves to have his own month on an evening at the movies and celebrate him, because
exactly.
at the end of the day, we're only discussing four of his movies, but that's barely scratching the surface of all the great movies that he has come up with throughout,
Agree.
his entire career.
And I do think next week for our final
Or
Hitchcock
not
show,
even to mention, I just to say, not even to mention he had not one but two successful anthology TV shows too.
yeah, I grew up watching Alfred Hitchcock Presents, obviously reruns, but my mom and my grandma, we always watched it. So, no, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, I think for our final
Eh,
show, sorry, Kasey, you're lagging really bad. I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off.
Oh, you're fine.
Your
I did.
internets are.
I come to expect it anymore.
I keep seeing your screen freeze, so I know it's happening when that happens. But anyway, next week we both need to do our top five as our favorite Hitchcock movies. I think for the last episode of the month, we'll probably have a lot of overlap, but I think that's okay. I think that would be a good top five.
Yeah, because I'm not even 100% sure that the one people think would be my number one is going to be my number one.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I can make arguments for probably three or four movies at any given time to be my number one favorite Hitchcock movie.
Fair.
It just it again, it's one of those mood depending things that you know.
Right.
But we can discuss that in a few days when next we return to discuss Vertigo.
Okay.
So
So let me say the one other thing that pissed me off about this movie. Because other than these, I love everything about this movie. This didn't piss me off so much as it gives me so much curiosity that I wish they had somehow given us some kind of explanation. What in the dusty fuck is up with these people sleeping on their balcony? Like the movie opens up with just the guy sleeping out there, and then he goes in, and then later again, him and the wife are out there on like this mattress, and it starts raining, and they're trying to pull the mattress inside. Like it is the most random thing in this movie to me, and I don't understand it. Like the first one, I thought maybe he was in trouble with the wife and she made him sleep outside, but then they were both doing it together. So I'm like, what is happening?
they were knocking boots.
I'm sorry, I'm not dragging a mattress out onto my tiny ass little balcony just to have sex on it. If we're going to do it on the balcony, it's going to be on a chair or on the hard ground. Do it once, knock it out, check it off the list. And the guy was out there by himself one time too. So why are these people sleeping on their tiny ass balcony? I don't understand it. I need more information.
I The assumption I took away from it was this is like summertime and they're in the middle of a like severe heat wave,
Okay.
but it's still one of those things that even like when I was rewatching the movie again for this episode, it's like, okay, I understand the fact this is 1954 and mm, air conditioners may not have been all the rage like they are nowadays,
Well,
but
they clearly
people
didn't have them. I mean, they
pe- people could have had. I mean, people had fans.
all their windows were always open. They had fans. They showed the temperature inside Jimmy Stewart's apartment at the very beginning of the movie. So I get that they didn't have AC, but once you're cramped up that much and you're basically on top of each other, doesn't that negate the fresh air? Whereas inside you could have multiple windows open and fans and at least get a breeze. Like, I just don't know. I feel like these people are freaks, and I wish we could have found out because something's going on there. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like maybe some of this is ripe for a sequel.
I want to put this out there. I know Alfred Hitchcock is dead. I know all these actors are dead. There has to be somebody who's a grandchild of somebody who knows something about this movie and this story. Maybe I'll research the play. I don't know if it was in the play. I gotta know what is up with these weird ass people sleeping on their balcony. I cannot rest until I figure this out because it's driving me insane.
Yeah,
I'll tell you I'm insane because I am.
I knew we were not done with the Tay Tay references. Yeah, I'm
Whatever.
not 100% sure exactly what it is, whether it's an East Coast thing or what. I couldn't even wager a guess, but yeah, there's nothing about me that is sleeping outside on a freaking fire escape or a balcony or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a fire escape. That's true. Just whatever.
Yeah, no, 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 and
Actually, I
no.
don't think it is because remember she climbed. Well, there is a fire escape because she climbs up to the balcony, but then she has to step over like to the windowsill or whatever. I don't know whether it's a fire escape, a balcony, a combination. I don't know. It's not normal for two
Yeah,
humans to drag a mattress out there and sleep out there. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, no, especially
When
in their
everyone
bloomers
is,
as well.
yeah.
So, um, other than the fact that um, Hitchcock takes the simplest things in the world and creates masterful artwork with it, was there anything else about this movie that you absolutely loved?
I really loved that Miss Lonely Heart didn't kill herself and that her and the piano man got together at the end. That made me really happy.
Again, that's one of those things. Like we get to
They're like
guilty by
tertiary characters, but I still cared about them.
yeah. No, I mean we get to guilty by association via Peeping Tom, like
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart, but you know, there's still aspects of some of these other characters that we've been watching for a 2 hour period that I would like some more backstory on.
And like her especially, like you really, I mean, they show you the parties and the things that are happening, but like for her, they're really giving you just these tiny snippets but of this woman who is just trying to find love.
Mhm.
Like you see her at the beginning, she sets a dinner table for someone that never shows up. And then she brings a guy home and he's like all over her and she has to slap him and kick him out. And then right when the action is happening in the Thornburgs, whatever their name is, in the
Mhm.
main people that died apartment. At the same time, you've got her and they're kind of discussing her. She's ready to pop a bunch of pills. And the masseuse lady, the caregiver, is like, call the police. And while he's calling the police to report her committing suicide, then he's seeing Lisa get attacked. And so it's like she gets forgotten about, and we have no idea. until the very end of the movie, which again is only like 10 minutes later, but still, I was so relieved and happy to see her alive in the piano man's apartment. He's playing this record for her, and she's like, "You have no idea how much your music has meant to me," because she could hear it from across the hall. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really lovely. It was a really sweet thing to add to the movie that honestly had no impact on the main plot line, but it was a nice resolution for me and it made me really happy. So, oh, and the ballet girl. You find out that she's got a husband that's been in war and he comes home and she kisses him and hugs him
Mm,
and so it's like with all these men, she probably actually wasn't sleeping with these men. It was just entertainment. And she's in the ballet world, which is just like being in modeling or acting or whatever.
yeah.
You're surrounded by people. And so I thought that was sweet too, that they showed, a husband coming home to her. Like that was sweet.
You don't necessarily get a full on happily ever after, but you get parts of, you know, the world's not as shitty and violent as we want you to think it is throughout the entire movie.
Right.
So, speaking of that, though, I think that's actually one of my other favorite things about this movie is like the final climactic. I wouldn't even say final battle because it's not really a battle.
I mean, it kind of is. He comes to his apartment and tries to push him out a window.
Yeah, but it's not even. I mean, I guess fight might be a better adjective than battle, but I mean, it's not completely drawn out and overdone and all of it. I mean, again,
Right.
sticking with the simplicity of less is more. It's what Hitchcock is very good at. He
Yeah.
doesn't go too far. I mean, even with Psycho, that goes a little bit further than like the other three movies that we've this and the other two movies that we talked about this month. But I mean, the birds obviously they're get in the car, drive away, birds live happily ever
They went away when the comet went away. I'm telling you.
after. Yeah.
It's a maximum overdrive thing, and I'm sticking to that story. I don't know.
Like
But
I
yeah,
said, Stephen King has been influenced by Hitchcock, so
yeah,
maybe that's where he got Maximum Overdrive from. But
maybe.
ooh,
You know what happened? You know what happened? Stephen King was like me and you. He was sitting there going, why the fuck did these birds do this? Do the birds just own the town now? Like, did they elect a bird mayor and everybody reports to him? It's like, what happened to these fucking birds? So he took it a step further with Maximum Overdrive or Trucks as the written story and said, look, a comet caused all this. I guarantee you that's what happened.
well, I mean, he did write Children of the Corn too.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for next month. This topic will be coming up again.
I have so many references to make from Children of the Corn to a TV show, so I'm excited to do that, but we'll save that.
Oh, so much coming up in the next few weeks. Um, but yeah, this movie is a very underrated movie and
Yeah.
completely one of my guilty pleasure favorite movies of all time that never gets brought up on any of my top 10 lists because
Yeah.
it's so easy to just push it to the back burner and forget about it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't deserve to because it's just that great of a movie. And it's a story that is socially relevant even by today's standards,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
especially nowadays with everybody, you know, literally having a camera in their hand and
Well, and with people
filming.
posting everything online, I mean,
Mhm.
Like, you don't even need to look in people's windows. Haha, another Taylor reference for those that get it. I look through people's windows like I'm some deviant weirdo.
Oh God, I keep opening the door, and she's gonna keep walking right through
Hey, you started it. Are we ready for our top fives?
them. Ladies first, as always.
All right, so I picked my top five voyeuristic style movies. Um, so I have a couple of honorable mentions. Peeping Tom, which is like one of the OG horror movies. It's not a movie I love a lot, but it definitely deserves to be mentioned. The Truman Show and The Burbs. The Burbs almost made the top five. It was really hard to keep it off, but there's a few more that I thought should be on there. and
Oh, I mean, I'm
The
curious to
Burbs
see what.
isn't like a full on voyeur movie. It's just partly. But
True, and that would probably be why I would bump it out of my top five.
right, right.
But The Burbs is a freaking classic.
Oh God, yeah. So number five is a 1 hour photo. One of the creepiest movies ever, looking at Robin Williams being creepy, staring at people's pictures and all that crap. Number four is Rear Window. And I love this movie. There's just a few that I enjoy to watch more, but I think this movie obviously, I mean, I guess you could say Peeping Tom and then this movie set the standard for like
Yeah.
voyeurism in film, but yeah. Number three is Body Double. That's an old 80s movie not a lot of people talk about, but it's actually a really good movie and very creepy with the guy spying on this girl all the time. And like, yeah. Number two is Sliver. That movie creeped me the fuck out. With the guy in the apartment with, yeah, Sharon Stone. I know she was hot. And Billy Baldwin. Oh,
Hey,
that movie was so fucking sexy.
she had a two-movie run in the
She
early
did.
to mid '90s, and whoo, buddy.
Sliver were right there with each other, but Sliver really creeped me out. Now, again, I saw that movie when I was a teenager, and that was when I really realized, oh my god, people could be watching you all the time, and you like. I swear, for like 2 months after I watched that movie, I was afraid to like do anything in my own house, and that sounds ridiculous, but when you realize this guy has a camera in everyone's apartment, and is watching everything you do, it's like
Mind you, this is before webcams and
right.
smartphones and all of that too.
Right. So yeah, that
Now with
movie has a creep
smartphones,
factor of like 100.
yeah,
But
the
it's
100 might be
also
a little bit
like,
too small.
at the same not that I would ever condone this because ew and no, but like it does expose that dad is like abusing his daughter and like, but it's like, why aren't you calling the cops? And like, well, I can't really call the cops because I have illegal cameras in people's apartments. But
Yeah.
yeah. Ugh, God, that movie creeps me out. It's yeah. And then number one is Disturbia. That's a very rewatchable movie for me, and it's basically the same thing as Rear Window. This kid is on house arrest, and he's watching his neighbor, and he realizes that his neighbor has killed this girl, and very similar. He likes this girl next door, and she comes over and hangs out, and soon these three teenagers are all trying to figure out if this guy's a murderer. It's probably not the quote unquote best movie on the list, but it's the most rewatchable for me. Like I can't even tell you how many times I've seen it. It's just a fun movie to watch. So
Isn't that the one with Shia LaBeouf?
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen it one time when it first came out on DVD, and I haven't seen it since. But
I've seen it a lot. Again, it's just a good movie to have on in the background, but it's also just it's really, in my opinion, really well done for a movie like that. And that guy that plays the killer, I can never remember his name, but he's so creepy to me, like in everything he does. So they did a good job with it. But
all right,
maybe we should
that was,
buddy watch it later. All right, what's your
um,
top five?
we have a different movie to buddy watch first.
Yeah, so I have to confirm that George does not want me to wait for him for the final two movies because they're his favorites. So if he wants me to wait for him, we can buddy watch it, but I got to wait for George to be home. But
Okay,
I'll
fine.
confirm if he's okay with me watching it without him, then by all means, we'll do it. For people that don't know, I am the last person in the world that has never watched Harry Potter. So I'm through the Harry Potter movies and I am to the seventh movie. So I've got 7 and 8 to go, and I'm very invested in what's going to happen. Kasey is very invested in my reaction. So we're going to do a buddy watch, but George has also enjoyed my reactions. So I got to see if he wants me to wait for him. So I will ask him and we'll circle back to that. I'm also restarting Game of Thrones, by the way. I only watched the first episode yesterday and I honestly, I feel like having context gives you more insight because
Oh,
like what was I talking about? Oh, when Ned executes the guy that abandoned the wall, and
yeah.
Bran is like, but he saw, or what about what he saw? And Ned was like, the mind will make crazy people see crazy things or something like that. And I
Yeah, I
immediately
know
was
what
like,
you're talking about.
bro, you have no idea what's about to happen to your son. Like, you have no fucking clue the things this kid is about to see. so,
Uh-huh.
so I'm
You
interested to
don't
rewatch it again.
necessarily catch a lot of this stuff going through the first time,
Well, you don't know. Like, that's the thing, you don't know until you know it.
but yeah, going back and rewatching it a second and third time, I think you get so much more out of it than.
Yeah.
So that was one of those things when you were done watching. Like I was hoping you enjoyed it enough that you'd be willing to go back and do it again.
Yeah. Because I
Because
know I missed stuff too. Like,
oh god,
it's not just having the insight like of what I just said. I know I missed stuff. And I will say it really helps me just watching that first episode to really remember who people are because there's so many characters
oh
that
yeah.
it's hard to keep up with. And now I can be like, "Oh, I know who that person is. That person's going to die and I remember who they are now." So I really think it will improve me watching it again. So yeah, I'm excited. Sorry, your top 5. What's your top 5?
Um, I'm hoping I didn't do this one already, but I kind of sort of piggybacked off of yours
Okay.
and stupid damn touchscreen phone.
It's a nice
Um,
story, Grandpa.
bite me. I gotta find on my list where I was. Not that. Um, I'm going with creepiest characters from movie history.
Oh, wow, that's a tough ooh, excuse me, tough one. All right.
Yeah, considering every list that I looked at when I Googled came up with TV on top of it, and
Well,
uh,
and creepy is very abstract. It's
true.
a wide catching net of things. So, all right.
So basically, I have a list and that I found online, and the people I'm about ready to name are what I would classify as creepy,
Mhm.
not the fact that Renly Baratheon and Joffrey were also on the list.
Uh Number 1 better be Bolton, Ramsey Bolton. Fuck me, that guy is scary.
Yeah.
Like, that guy gave me like literal chills, like literally creeped me out. I had a nightmare about him. He scared me so bad. So kudos to that actor. Anyway, continue.
Uh, yes, Ramsey Bolton was 13 on the list.
Yeah.
Joffrey was number 12.
I mean,
So,
yeah, but you know my feelings on that. The only reason I would put Ramsay higher than Joffrey is that Ramsay did his own shit. He didn't hire other people out to do it. If you were going to be flayed, he was going to do it to you himself
true.
and smile while he did it.
Very much so. So, with that said, my number five is from the A24 horror classic Hereditary,
Mm,
and it is Annie Graham, played by Toni Collette.
yeah.
Wackadoo!
I don't know. That scene where she yells at the kid because he's back talking her, and she's basically like, I'm your mother, you little shit. Don't talk to me like that. It's one of my favorite scenes ever. Like, that is what every mother has ever wanted to do.
I'm telling you, Ari Aster is becoming one of my underappreciated favorite movie directors of all time.
It's like the scene from the morning show when Jennifer Aniston's character is yelling at her kid, and she's just like, oh, fuck you, kid. And I mean it. Fuck you. I was like, yes. Okay.
Otherwise known as Fuck Apple TV.
Oh, the morning show is so good.
Next up, we have my number four, which is a gentleman by the name of Anthony Perkins
Mm.
from a little movie called Psycho.
Silence of the Lambs. Oh, Anthony Perkins. I think it's Anthony Hopkins. Yes, Anthony Perkins. Good job.
Um, Spoiler alert! Damn it!
Sorry.
Just kidding. Um, Number three. Spoiler alert for next month on an evening at the movies. Even though I talk shit about it all the time. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the clown.
It's a good one.
Number two. Here's Johnny. And then there's a tie for my number one and my number two. Because, one, they're both insanely fucking creepy. They're both incredibly fucking psycho. And they're both in the same fucking movie. So I don't give two shits.
Okay.
Um, Ted Levine, aka Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. And then the obvious yin to his yang, Anthony Hopkins, otherwise known as Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter.
Yes.
So,
I would almost throw what's his head from
Jodie Foster.
no, Red Eye. What is that guy? His character in the movie is Jack. The guy is just creepy in general. Uh he's in Oppenheimer and all other kinds of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But he plays the bad guy in Red Eye on the plane. He creeps me out so bad in that movie. Like, what is his name? It's like right on the tip of my tongue. I don't know why I keep thinking Crispin Glover. That's not it. He's creepy too, though. Ah, Killian Murphy. That's it. Killian Murphy. That guy is just always creepy, but in Red Eye, he was super creepy to me. Like, he was scary. Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted. Was Killian Murphy anywhere on that list? Because I feel like multiple times he could be on that list. Oh, all
No,
right.
but I feel like if they were to ever do a Crispin Glover biopic, Killian Murphy could 100% play Crispin Glover.
Yeah, that's fair. He really could.
So
All right, so rankings. You want me to go first?
it's always ladies first.
All right. I love this movie. Again, I think as usual, Hitchcock always puts on a masterclass. This time, I would say it's with the slow burn. This movie is a slow burn. Even though you're getting the hints of what's going to happen, it's like you don't really know until the end. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie to watch. There's nothing not to like about it. It's got beautiful actors, great actors. Um, I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5 super zoom photo lenses, whatever they're called.
I believe it's just a telephoto lens.
Telephoto, yeah, whatever. Those
So
fancy photographer cameras.
yeah, the
He's
ones
like,
where you go stand on a freaking racetrack and get ran over by a car and break your fucking leg.
yeah, okay, I didn't tell you to go stand in the middle of that racetrack. That was funny.
So, but yeah, no, like Amanda said though, Hitchcock, Hitchcock, Hitchcock. Uh,
Somebody should make a clock shaped like his head and call it a Hitch clock.
so
That would be great.
clip alert.
I'm gonna trademark that.
1 hour and 16 minutes into the episode.
Yes, Hitch clock, and it could go da 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 at midnight and at 12 p.m.
Uh, so, but he's there's a reason why people call him the master of suspense. He's that good at doing what he does, and he deserves all the flowers, all the respect, all the adoration. Um,
And some slaps in the face, but
you
for his
would
movie
think,
directing, not so much.
well, true, but you would think from listening to some of the things that we had to say about the movie and all of that during our discussion, though, that you know this movie being a 2 hour long movie, it's like I'm going to be bored and waiting for this movie to end the whole time. This is really not one of those movies that it starts and yes, everything like Amanda said is a slow burn, but it's still continuously moving forward minute
Yeah,
by minute, and before you know it, you know Jimmy's getting hung out a freaking window and shooting flash bulbs in the neighbor's eyes.
very clever.
So it's a great movie. I'm gonna give it 4.5 nosy garden sniffing dogs out of 5.
I was trying to avoid talking about the dog. They did not have to kill the dog. I hate that.
Spoiler alert for those of you who don't know in the last 4.5 years. Amanda does not like doggy violence.
No. Every movie should come with a disclaimer of does the dog die? Like, I
You mean
bet
like
there's a website for that. If there's not, I should invent one.
the one book that we read that Shannon recommended?
Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because there should definitely be a movie website that says you can look up the movie and know does the dog die or does the dog not die? Because, yeah.
If not, Kevin could probably design an app for you.
Whatever, I'll design it and get rich with Kevin's help. And he can get rich too. uh,
So this was lots of fun.
yes.
Another Hitchcock week is come and gone. I am excited for next week to be here because you get to see our beautiful smiling faces along with one other beautiful smiling face twice next week. Well, The third face will be with us once, but we'll be here twice. So lots
It's
of
twice as nice.
so we will be here next week to wrap up Alfred Hitchcock Month with Vertigo, and we will also be paying tribute on the 10th anniversary of Wes Craven's passing to that masterful director himself, and discussing my favorite, my not your favorite slasher movie of all time, A Nightmare on Elm Street. And then we're gonna roll right into Stephen King Birthday Bonanza and Halloween Horror Fest and all of that. Like I said, we've got big stuff coming. We've got It Chapter 2, we've got Children of the Corn, we've got Silver Bullet, and we've got The Monkey coming up in September. We've got Killer Clowns in October, and literally I just drew a blank on everything else that we had talked about and discussed
Yeah, I forget.
for Halloween Horror Fest. But there is the beauty of search in conversation feature on Messenger. So
Exactly.
tune in later and find out what's coming up on Halloween Horror Fest. That's still a ways down the road.
Exactly.
So lots of fun. Thank you for being here again, co-host.
Always,
We
or almost
did
always.
99.9% of the time.
Yeah, you can miss me with Terrifier, but most of the time I'm going to be here.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Art the Clown was on that list that I scrolled through, and I purposely left him off the list just because I knew
Hey,
you're not a fan.
if we can get someone else, I already said I will be on the episode just to give my commentary, but I'm not watching the movie again. And I don't remember much about it, but I'm happy to comment and give my opinions, but I'm not watching the movie again. So,
Spoiler alert: she's not a fan of upside down hookers.
I'm not a fan of clowns, and yet we're doing new clown movies. So I don't think I should have to endure another one.
3.
Well,
Oh, chapter 1, chapter 2, and then the Killer
Killer
Clowns.
Clowns. No, Clown in a Cornfield. That's one of the Halloween Horror Fest ones.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, but
yeah.
chapter 2 in September.
Well, I know, but I'm not counting the one we already did, so that's still 3.
Oh well. I
So,
mean, we don't have to do chapter 2 if you don't want to.
no, I'm okay with that. We already discussed it anyway. Anyway,
Damn it.
lots of clowns
So,
to come.
lots of clowns, lots of horror, lots of fun, lots of shenanigans. But again, thank you all for being here each and every week. You guys are incredible. You guys are amazing. We love you all to death. Not literally.
Yeah.
So, but
Don't call
co-host,
the cops. It's a figure of speech, okay?
exactly. So, co-host, are you ready to take us home?
I am. Thanks, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't watched Rear Window, go give it a whirl. I think you'll enjoy it.
Now, it is
Yes, we
worth
spoiled it for you, but it's still an enjoyable movie.
it's worth the $4 on Amazon Prime to go rent it.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and we hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
Peace and hair grease.
Da na 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 na. Da na 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 na.